So I wanted to add a composite video input on this black and white TV. This is from the 70s, around 70s, and it wasn't easy because the documentation of these TVs, like the documentation of their control ECs, is scarce. I worked a lot of it, a lot, quotes under quotes, obviously, and I finally succeeded, and maybe you are interested in this for making a CRT retro gaming set, or I don't know, or out of curiosity. The monitor part of the TV, so excluding the RF demodulator part of it, is controlled by chips like these. These are TBA550Q, and it's the equivalent of the TAA700, probably just the brand differs. Anyways, these chips have a video signal input pin 10, but the problem is that you can't hook up directly a composite video signal on these chips. Why? Because the input of these chips is the output of the detector, and if you connect the video signal out of a composite cable directly on these chips, their image will roll and be all messed up, and it doesn't work. And it requires a negative voltage, a fully negative voltage referenced to ground on pin 10. But you may think I will just swap the two wires of the composite video and have a negative signal. No, it will not work again. The signal must be shifted all downwards below zero, but not reversed. So you need something to add a negative voltage. In this video, I offer two solutions for a cheap price. You just need to watch this video, put a thumbs up on this video, subscribe to my channel, marry my ugly sister, and take care of the dead bodies I will provide you. And anyways, yes, I'm joking. About the chips, you can find these chips and apply this mod also to tube TVs. Tube TVs of the latest era of tube TVs, so like kinda early 70s probably. And disclaimer, if your TV has an auto transformer, so there is no regular transformer, this has a regular transformer, or it's live, its circuitry is live under mains, and maybe there are just some step-down resistors or something, you can't do this mod. So the solution at that point are two. Or you add an isolation transformer on the supply of the TV, and the TV will become like it is a regular transformer, or you step back at using a modulator. And you may think, but yeah, the chip is live on a live TV, but why aren't these inputs of antenna live? Because these inputs have high voltage, low value capacitors on both the center connection and the outer connection, unlike later styles of TVs that the outer connection is grounded with the chassis of the TV. There are capacitors that isolate the mains voltage from the antenna and other antennas, also the whip antenna. So this is the schematic of the two solutions, the simple but there's a battery, and the standalone but complex, or complex but standalone. Anyways, let's start with the battery one. The battery just adds a negative voltage to the video signal, and in this way it will subtract like 1.5, 1.6 volts. So the video signal is like 1 volt peak to peak, referenced to ground, so it will enter the pin 10 of the chip as a signal that goes from like minus 0.5 volts to a minimum of 1.5, minus 1.5 volts, and it will be negative and not reversed anyways. And you need this resistor here that will make a low impedance path from on the composite video input and avoid voltage kickbacks from the battery to the device you use, and also probably also to the TV. Anyways, I also added a switch here if you want. I tried this solution and it works, but I didn't try the switch, but you can add it to save the battery and let it endure, let it last way longer. Anyways, I calculated that the battery with the switch on will last like 20 days, so if you use the TV once in a while, the battery will last like an year. Anyways, it's an AA battery, fully charged, obviously. And this is the complex but standalone, or standalone but complex solution. It's just a 555 that makes a square wave, and this square wave is applied through this capacitor and diode to make pulsed negative DC. Then there is another diode here and another electrolytic capacitor to make smooth DC. And there is another network here with a wide resistor and another electrolytic capacitor to make a voltage that is even smoother. Why? To avoid artifacts on the screen. Anyways, this solution here generates, like in this point here, like minus 10 volts with this solution, granted that on pin 5 of the chip you have the 12 volts for supplying the chip. But we don't need those 10 volts, we need much less. In fact, there is a voltage divider here with a bigger resistor here and a smaller one here that makes on this spot like minus 1.4 volts. And then there is this blocking capacitor here from the Composite video input that allows only the high frequency or the 50 Hz or 60 Hz out of the Composite video, and applies it here, making a negative signal that is not a gain, not reversed. Anyways, you have to cut a trace that goes on pin 10 of the chip, probably. This is ground of the chip, pin 16, and pin 5 is the plus 12 volts for the chip. These chips, the TBA550Q or TAA700, work at 12 volts here, but mine works at 11 volts because my TV works also at 12 volts from a car battery, probably for a trailer, camper, anyways. And anyways, there is this resistor here that you see. This resistor avoids noise coming from the 555 that can mess with the chip and again generate artifacts, or I don't know. Anyways, this is basically it. You will find this schematic in the description of the video below as a link if you want to save it, and that's it for the schematic. And this is the mod that I made on the TV. It's the most complex one because it's easy for me to solder a pair of components on a perf board. I do this since decades. Anyways, you can also add maybe a switch to select or the composite input or the original circuitry of the TV from here, and it's up to you if you want to keep the TV as original with a switch. Anyways, about the audio instead, these TVs have usually a volume potentiometer, no other ways of changing the volume. And to add audio on these TVs and use the original speaker of the TV, here's the speaker, you have to locate the signal input on the volume potentiometer, that in this case it's here, and it's the contact of the potentiometer that is selected when the potentiometer is fully turned clockwise. And this is the signal input. The ground instead of the audio is the opposite contact. Here you have to isolate obviously the trace of the input here from the original circuitry of the TV, and the ground goes on the opposite side. And anyways, about the ground, you have to ensure that this ground is the same path of the ground of the video chip. These here are the contacts, the pins of the video chip. This is the ground of the video chip that goes on the perf board. And anyways, this chip is the original of the TV, and this one instead is just a spare I took from another TV. And this is the result. I'm using here this box, the mini HDMI to AV box. This is a chip from AliExpress, and I like it, but the proportions are not too perfect. Anyways, the signal comes from my PC. As you can see, there's the grayscale here and also here. No artifacts apart the camera sync on my phone, sorry. Okay. And there's this noise here that you can see, but I don't know what that is. I couldn't manage to take it away, and it's not visible every time. It's probably a characteristic of the TV for some reason, or I don't know. Maybe you will not have it. Anyways, let's try another image. Okay. Text, and as you can see, it looks pretty sharp. You can also see the lines. I adjusted the TV, honestly, with its potentiometers, trimmers, etc. Not bad. Yeah, black and white CRTs are quite sharp if adjusted properly, more than color CRTs, because there is no grid with the timing system for the colors in black and white screens. Anyways, yeah. No modulator, as you can see. So thanks for having watched my video, and bye!